Sir King. Sir King. Sir King. Sir King. Sir King.
Canvas.
Sir King. Sir King. Sir King. Sir King.
All right, what's going on, everybody? How you doing, Charlene Schwab, aka SpongeBob? How you doing? Like I said, this will be a quick live. I just wanted to come live and talk about a couple things real quick. Real world news. I guess the big thing is when Elon and Trump falling out and all that stuff. That is kind of crazy if you think about that long term implications of the situation. Um, Crazy thing is you don't know how much information Elon has. He has access to everything, but Trump might have a major card to say because he can say that we no longer allow business to be done at Tesla. So that's a very dangerous game. I think in the short term, Trump could win, but in the long term, Elon could win. But I mean, that situation to me reminded me of the B sector. What's up, Dr. Creole Butterfly? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. That was just reminded me of the B sector. You don't know. People link up because they feel like they have a common interest. They join and unite, and you stop feeling that person, and then you sit up there and start putting stuff out, and I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, Elon was saying that that's why the Epstein files haven't come out because Rump was in those files and stuff like that. And I mean, if you think about it, Rump is the most powerful man in the world. So right now, you know what I'm saying. So, but then again, Elon is the richest man in the world. So it's a lot of games. I won't say games. It's a lot of factors at play. And then they talk about import. I mean, what's it called? Not export. Excuse me. Deporting Elon. It's a very interesting game. Well, not game. It's just weird. It's just really weird. And then our economy. What's up, Robert Lowe? How you doing? Good to see you. And then our economy. They sit up here saying jobs are added and stuff, but I'm seeing that companies are cutting significantly. Something don't feel right, y'all. I feel like things are being manipulated. I feel like they said so I was scrolling through Instagram. They said in Q3 and Q4, that's when we're gonna see things plummet. That's when we're gonna see the effects of the tariffs. That's when we're gonna see the effects of inflation. The Fed said they're not cutting no rates. And guess what? The Fed ain't gonna cut no rates because they just came out with a great employment report. So the Fed ain't cutting. So I'll tell you, we had all these issues before. So and it's hard for businesses to now even do more do business with the tariff and high interest rate. Child, I was just putting this together. I'm like, oh, it's crazy. So I heard that they try to intentionally crash the economy to have things go to something else, like gold or crypto, so that that could be the new standard. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting times we live in, to be honest. And we're more global now than ever. And yeah, it's very interesting. All right, I want to say hello to some people who dropped in. What's up, K9 Cutie? Nico, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you. Sassy Francis, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, your pleasure. 721. How you doing? All right. See you when you come back. Bush baby, what's going on? How you doing, Bush baby? Bush baby. Real world news: the Indiana Pacers they won the first game of the NBA championship against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I honestly have the Oklahoma City Thunder, but we'll see. We'll see. Any other thing else I want to share with y'all? No, the whole Diddy situation is I don't know. It's sad. It's all I can say. It's a situation where it's sad. That man was selfish. He didn't care. But a lot of people found out that all they had to do was sit up there and be a pervert with him, and their bills would get paid, and their lifestyle would get paid. That's. I'm sorry, I'm not a proponent of that. What's going on? But from the evidence that I'm hearing and transcripts that I'm hearing, that's all that pretty much was. Now we don't know if the defense or whoever the prosecution is going to come with a slam dunk later in the case. But all I can see is that there were a bunch of complicit. Well, I'm gonna say complicit. I'm gonna say a bunch of willing adults who got compensated for their services. At times he was aggressive, and he didn't get what he wanted. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just interesting. So, Dr. Creel says watching the accountant two, the accountant one was all that. Yeah, okay. I watched the accountant one. I didn't watch the accountant two yet because I was like, they bringing in the brother into the phone. So we'll see. What's up, Heavy Bear? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Please tell the thumbs up the live. I'm not gonna be on too long because I mean, right now what we got on, I see the OGs are trying to come back out and start some stuff to salvage to, I guess, the sector. I don't know. I'm not too compelled, in all honesty, because they dealing with stuff that happened in the past. They're not improving their state right now. What's up, Queen Diva? How you doing? Thank you for being here. They're not. How can I say? It's like they're bringing out oldie goldies and playing them in 2025. Like we already heard that. Like they not even get involved in the stuff that's going on now. They talk about Vonnie Vaughn. What? I mean, what? Like really? Like, come on now. Like, come on now. If Vonnie Vaughn was getting in some mess involving Ness or some other people that or Pizarro, then okay, I'm down for that. But they just talk about stuff and how this. I'm like, no. That's not mixing old school and new school. So that's pretty much my take on that. And no offense to Vonnie Vaughn. Vonnie Vaughn didn't never do that to me. But I'm just giving commentary on what I see. It's just kind of, it feels kind of orchestrated and forced a little bit. There are new people that need to know. Okay, I understand that Southern Nobleman. I understand that. But we can get the history while doing current events with the current people. Y'all, I understand that they're trying to get the history. But let the history be relevant to today. The only one that you can really say who is doing something currently, maybe you can say James, Five but I don't even get notifications for Five, and that's kind of messed up. But really, you can only really give your hat to maybe James, to be honest. I mean, in terms of consistency and appearance, Rick Reed, he come and go when he so choose to. I mean, all right. Um, Sean over there playing peekaboo on Patreon. So I mean, I understand that, but I mean, in argument of the whole, okay, then you can also say maybe Jay Wilson, but in argument of where like the old school talking about, oh, I don't like this new school, where the OGs can't really criticize the new school if they ain't the OGs ain't maintaining their land. The rules to the game will always change. You just have to adapt. Look at Snoop Dogg don't really no music no more. But he still maintained his relevancy in today's modern pop culture. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta be able to adapt and evolve. That's all. Reset to 2.0 is not interesting to me. They're not interesting to me either with these plays they ran. They come on, they run plays and stuff like that. But it seems like the OGs have given up and allowed the new kids to come in, but then they want to criticize the new kids. It's like, no, still mark your territory and keep your territory ablaze. You ain't gotta acquiesce to them. That's how I feel. But I guess sometimes people get tired of the bull. What's up, Black Strawberry Apple? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Okay. Bush Baby says 2.0 are illiterate and lack life experience. Well, Bush Baby, that is, let me just say, that's a very profound statement, even though it's a simple statement, in the sense that technology is causing the dumbing down of our up and coming or our current society. Like 2.0 is what society, the younger generation is. It's dumb. Dumb. They stupid. Like, I mean, I come across a few kids that you say, okay, I exception to that, but they dumb. You ever come across them in the workplace? They lazy. They don't want to do nothing. They don't know. I saw somebody write something like, what they wrote? They wrote something. Oh my God, what was that word? I said, no, they didn't. Um, Damn, I forgot what the word was. What was that word? Um, they. You could tell they wrote the word the way it sounded, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, but they dumb. They dumb. Like they dumb. Like I would just say anything dealing with adversity, they're not gonna be able to survive. Like if the circumstances are not optimal, they're not, let's say if the power go out, they freaking out. Oh, it's so hot. Oh, it's so hot. Oh, I got no phone. Oh, and I'm like, you know, I was driving around the other day and it just hit me. It's like there are no kids outside. And I think what prompted me to see that was because I saw basketball. And I drive by all the time and there ain't no kid outside. And I'm like, yo, it used to be back in the day. You would look for you would hate to drive down a block with a whole bunch of kids because it would take forever to get their asses out of the way. So you would go around the other block, go around the other side, try to see if you get in that way. But now that ain't the issue. Like it ain't no kids not outside at all. They ain't doing no jump rope. They barely see them walking. And if they are, it's usually I guess you could say to school or something. But they don't even walk to school. They still on that super fast moped thing they got now. What is it? Electric bike. They're not even getting the proper exercise. But it's crazy. It's insane. Like they have no life, not even natural life skills. Everything is, but they stupid. It's just dumb. Like they don't know how to count. I don't know. Do they know how to count coins? Like apparently they're getting rid of pennies, but it just seems like they are intentionally making us dumb. I told you about the professor that was crying because he was like, our kids don't know how to think anymore. It's just, and I can't say it's all because some of them have work ethic, but the more, when I see they're always on that fucking phone, excuse my French, they're always on that damn phone. And I'm like, it's a time and a place to be on your phone, and I understand that. But when the shit is messing with your brand and your job, and that's not you are in a customer service position. I'm ready to talk about when you go to the store. They all up on your phone. They get snappy with you because they can't wait to scroll up and see what the next thing is. And I'm just like, put that down. Like just put it down. Like, ugh. Sometimes I get annoyed with having to carry that phone around. Put it down. But let me see what y'all saying. All right. Dr. Creel says true. Black Strawberry Apple says it's sad they are not learning how to communicate with people. It's really sad. Bush Baby says I had a student who didn't know how to tell time on a hand clock. I wouldn't be surprised. They don't. They don't even know what a hand clock is. You know what I mean? They don't even know what a hand clock. They don't know how to tell time. They don't know how to tell seconds. No. This is the other thing. They don't even know how to do like stuff with a just stuff with a car, like mechanical things, like how do you survive when, like I already said, when the power go out. Just certain things, just the mental toughness to tough it out. The mental toughness to tough it out. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it's just I don't know. It's just like it's just weird, and it kind of segues into what we're going to say um, about lemon, pretty much. But they done this on. I thought they done this on purpose. Like they kind of cultivated or try to get society to reach this point, and they reached this point now, where people are stupid, people are dumb, people are not don't know how to think, or it's just they're just dumb. Just uh, yeah, everything you said, everything is an app, an app. Everything's an app. And my mind ain't shaped that way. Like an app. I don't wear those damn things. Like I see everybody wearing them iPhone watches, whatever, that take your heart rate and all that. But y'all gotta think about where they sending that shit to. Where who is benefiting off of that information? You know, somebody's getting that read back to them. You know, it just makes you think and wonder. You know, I don't know. It's very interesting. Let me see what you said. No, can't count money, right? Shit, can't write or reverse it. That's what I'm saying. I agree with your pleasure. Like I said, I thought somebody writes. It was a. I wish I could remember that word for you. And then I said, why the hell they spell it that way? And it sounded the way it did, but it was totally off. Totally off. And they can't count money. If it's not a dollar, like 5, 2, they can't count no cents. You know, the machine's breaking it all down for them. So they would never know. Like if you really wanted to run game on them, you could if they didn't know. They so stupid. They can't do instant math. Ask them to do instant math. Ask them to do 45 minus 14. You know what I'm saying? They can't do it. They can't do it. It's just they can't do it like that instantly. And you know what? As you get older, you got to make sure that your skills stay sharp too. Because as we get so automated, I can go to Google right now and say, what's 45 minus 14? And it will do it for me. But the process, the mental process of doing it, you forget that because it's so automatic. So you got to learn, oh, why is it 45? Take 45 minus 14. What's 4 minus 1? What's 5 minus 4? And that gives you my answer. Because, yeah, you learned it, but you could lose that because it's so easy and quick that you may have to do it. Like, you got to keep like your multiplication tables. You got to keep that straight. What's 7 times 3? 21. But why is it 7 times 3? 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 21. Like stuff like that, you got to do that to keep your mind sharp. Even your ability to read. You know, yes, these apps are going to give you the instant answer, but you got to keep your mind, like, you got to keep that part of your. Because they say, so kid, you so childish, you a grown man playing PS5. It's not because I'm the childish. You got to understand, you got to keep your motor skills quick. shit, I'm trying to keep off that dementia and all that stuff that happens as you get older. But one of the ways to do that is to play video games to keep your motor neurons and your motor sensors quick, fast. Oh, you got to press that button quick so many times. You got to recognize the pattern. Those are a lot of things that video games do. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, because I asked myself today, shit, barely do I see people really exercise the way they need to. Can you run? Can you sprint? Because you can't really bust out there and start working out because that's going to put you really in cardiac arrest because your body is not used to that kind of stress. So it's just our life is a life of convenience, but it's also a life of detriment. Meaning that we got things so cool that we don't really need to run unless we make ourselves run, right? Like what I'm saying is like we don't have to go hunt for our food. We ain't gotta sit there and chase no damn deer, which is forcing us to run. We just we go to the store and do it. So unless you really on a treadmill or you really doing something physically active, that's like, what are you doing to push your body and your heart rate to the limit? And what's interesting, remember I told you about that guy where I went to the bougie gym and he took his ass, and I said, what his ass doing over here at the hood gym? Was because he realized that I guess he needed to keep doing cardio. Because the guy keeps himself in good shape. I'm not going to knock him for that. He keeps himself in great shape. But what I think what he saw he was missing was he needed a stimulus to keep him um, something that would give him that cardio, a cardio of running up and down a basketball court and being forced. Because when you do it on your own leisure, okay, I'm gonna push it where my body feels it, at the rate it wants to go. In basketball, in any other sport, it's not at the rate in what you want to go. It's at the rate you get your ass to get there to play defense or to make that basket. So I just share that with y'all. It's like sometimes we just got to put ourselves in a position to not do what we want to do, but do what we have to. Like, you got to keep them limbs, in shape because you take a hiatus, them limbs don't want to get back in sync. So, but I just feel bad because these kids they're not promoting. Like these kids are fat as hell. These the little ones because what they're getting this food, this processed food earlier in life. Like they're getting this food right when they come out the womb and they just big as hell. And then they want to revolt when you try to take it from them. It's the sorry to say this, y'all, but it's to be the white people or the people who upper echelon of society who know what those foods contain. They go have the skinny kids and stuff like that. But that's not all cases. But normally our kids in the hood or you could say the middle class, they were hood or middle class neighborhood be kind of bigger than normal. But anyway, let me read your comment real quick. Back, did I miss limit? No, you didn't. They have the nerve to say they are stressed and they can't have nothing. They can't handle nothing because life is too good. Black Strawberry Apple says, but the Bible said that they we could break over, gotta go. All right, well, have a good one, Black Strawberry Apple. What's up, Miss Marshall? How you doing? Good to see you. Take the video here. Long time no see. Um, you don't know. I mean, obviously you heard it say you don't know what you have until it's gone. And to be honest, these kids, I feel ain't really gone through nothing. To be honest, like everything is a matter of convenience. Like they ain't even got to really pedal a bicycle no more. They got an electric bicycle. They don't, you know. I mean, even the ability to make money or even the ability to get money is faster. They can sit up there and do a cash out request, and if they friend feel like being nice to them, they can send them $10. They ain't gotta go out there and do no damn lemonade stand. Like what? Lemonade what? You know what I'm saying? So unless they go through a unfortunate situation, I feel they won't have no appreciation for nothing. And to be honest, I feel a lot of them will crumble. If we ever need to put them on the battlefield, oh shit, we done. For real. Like they're not gonna know how to persevere and duck and but you never know. I mean, in that instinct, you may have to it's either survive or die. And if you choose survival, then you're gonna do what you want to do. You're gonna have to man up, but I don't know. It's very interesting. All right, so let's get into what y'all came here for. Please thumbs up the live. Like I said, this ain't gonna be an all night situation. I'm just going to give you my 2 cents because, like I said, I haven't really been enthralled what's been going on the YouTube streets. And every time I put something about Lemon, that little baby start crying. He starts saying, "Why I gotta talk about him?" Well, you talk about is because you're a damn content creator, and I ain't gonna sit here and censor my ass because you can't handle the bullshit that you're doing and the truth of the matter of what you're doing. Okay. So, like I said, if you want thumbs up, live, feel free to do so. If you want to, feel free to send a gesture. The dollar sign, Sir King Crown. Now, let's talk about what we heard, I guess, last night with the whole situation where he was outside. Now, let me just tell you, let me just do it a different way. I'm going to give you about what I'm seeing and what my interpretation is about what's going on. Okay. My, how can I say it? Full view analysis is that Lemon is in a situation where he's the older party at hand. And somebody said, very interesting. You want to sit up here and call everybody old, but your ass is the oldest one dealing with the people in your real life right now. And I feel like he get called old because he throws that old commentary on the people around here because that's what they call him in his real life, right? Because now he's dealing with, to me, I ain't gonna say the boys are kids because I ain't trying to put that on him. Now, Jay Wilson over there tiptoeing around the allegation that he said, pedo. Jay Wilson didn't call him a pedo, but the boy did in the damn video. He definitely called him a pedo. Now, I'm not gonna say that the characters that play are of underage. We don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know that at all. But I can sense they're very close to teetering that line by 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. So this is what I always told y'all. It was a no for me when I saw that boy with no shirt on in his room. I like, what the fuck? I even got a video up. I don't know which video it is. But it's something like Lemon, oh no, or Lemon no, or something like that. Because he's got the boy in his room. That's when that boy first came on. And a lot of people were making fun of it because the boy had just a shirt on in his room. Yeah, I'm about to do my commentary on that, Bushman. So I'm like, okay. And then I told you about the time I heard him tell the two boys, because he was comparing their physique, tell the one of them to take their shirt off. I'm like, nah, dog, what the fuck? No, 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 no. No, never, ever, 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 ever. So like that. No, don't, no. So that was the other like alarming situation. Then Nurse K came out with the story about how, you know, somebody was asking about her about her wig, and then when she found out who it was one of them boys about to be. I'm like, oh Lord, what is up with this shit? What's up, ATL Gail? How you doing? Good to see you. So this shit is weird, bro. Like I'm not like that's why I'm like, like I ain't. There's a lot of stuff that is just Lemon. Let me just say something. When Lemon was over here, there was nothing about nothing like that. I didn't know he had no Eli, Weli, C-Line, MJ, BJ, LJ, nothing like that running around in the background. But this is my synopsis of what's going on. Lemon Mama work a lot. She ain't there, or she with her boo thing over at his place. So he got a lot of time on his hands as to the place being alone. So going back to what happened last night, I guess one of the boys spazzed out on Lemon and said Lemon be touching him and stuff like that, but not touching him like in the shoulder or touching him, on the head, but be touching him sexually, right? He said that. And then he sat up there and called Lemon a pedo. Then he sat up there and said, "Oh, I got the teleport thing. I got let me get the said let me get that bottle." And then Lemon said, "Oh, it's got something in it." He said, "I know it got something in it, dummy. I'm gonna break it or something like that. Pretty much, I'm gonna break it and use it as a weapon against you." And I'm like, damn. I'm like, okay, all right, what the hell? And then everybody heard him say, "Oh, and you've been touching other people too. We got something for you." I'm like, "Ooh," you know. I'm like, I'm really like, "Oh hell no" to the no, but I'm like, not really.
Oh, hell
To me, I'm not really, y'all really is shocking. What's up, Lady T? How you doing? Good to see you. Y'all really is shocking. But I'm not really as shocking. Because Lemon now is now using them boys for content. But like I told you way before, I say them boys want what Lemon had. Them boys want limit what limit had. Going back to what we were talking about, what we talked about earlier, right? About the younger generation. The younger generation don't really put no value in working for a company 30 years, a pension, all that stuff because they didn't see this. They didn't see corporate America or just business in general betray their family, right? They done seen how you used to be able to get a home for 20K and now you can't. Or how mom and daddy got laid off even though they didn't do nothing. So the younger generation is fuck corporate America. I'd rather get more money, go on viral, and get paid right now. And that's what their mindset is, right? So going back to Lemon, they see him with the channel that they want. And like earlier today, the Eli, I think, said, "Oh, how you put or whoever, Michael Jackson, I don't know." One of them came up there and be like, "How you put him on before me?" I'm like, "Oh shit, here we go." Right? Right? So that whole situation is weird. So that situation with the bottle, all that, and then he told him to stop touching him and all that. And then what was? I guess he ran off. I don't know what happened. Just no, Lemon dropped off the line. Lemon had dropped off the line because the boy was spazzing out and all that stuff. I don't know. And then he started threatening the boy to I'm gonna hit you. See, Lemon, if you go back and look at that Shakim shit, Lemon was doing the same thing he do to the little boys that he did to Shakim in Vegas. You gonna use his size to jump on them and to control them. And that's what we saw it, and that's what he tried to do with them boys. But see, with them boys now, he's in a position of power. He can buy them stuff. He telling them how much he got in the cash app account. I'm sure if he telling us, he definitely flashing it on them. Then it seemed like he kind of envious of Wonder Boys, like somebody was saying, because he keep talking about how Wonder Boys got a nice car. Okay, so y'all got to take that into account. So now Lemon's got the power, but they want what Lemon got pretty much, which is the channel and the followers. They following Lemon's lives and probably Pizarro and everybody else that he engaging with, just because they probably get a thrill out of that. So let's go back to what transpired today. So Lemon, I guess I heard the clip, but it's a lot to take in. So Lemon over there on Pizarro, they want to ask the boy or Pizarro did more about what's going on and why you say Lemon touched you, touched him, and all this stuff. So kind of find out at the time in which this happened, Lemon don't really know what. Like it seems like Lemon knows them, but don't really know them. I think he knows Eli more than he knows his other boy, Michael Jackson. Let me just say that. He got a better relationship with Eli than he does with Michael Jackson. 'Cause I think Michael Jackson, as we consume, is also kind of drugs, maybe meth. Because they say he got some kind of sore on his mouth, and he may be a picker. I guess when you're on meth, you start picking because you think you got sores on you. So he started picking. So I guess one time he was high and Lemon, I guess. Now this is the strange thing about this situation. Lemon opens his home to this boy he really don't know that he know now he know is under the influence. But somehow Lemon tells the boy to come to his bedroom. Mm, mhm. Let me get my clip for that. Hold on one second, y'all. Yeah, I said come to his bedroom. Yeah. Then now, what's weird is let me tell you something. You ain't inviting nobody to the house, especially if you got a big ass dog that's crazy as Creed. Inviting him because you don't want to deal with the situation if the dog don't get along with the damn person that you don't know that's on drugs. Right? That's just weird. So then, based on what I'm trying to process, y'all, and I'm not really trying to process that because that whole story and stuff that went down is weird. So then he tells him to lay on the bed or something, some shit like that, to lay on the bed. Now this is where the part gets strange. Apparently, when he woke up, his butt was wet, or the pants of his butt was wet. Now let me talk about. Oh, well, the boy told me he sat on the floor. That don't make no damn sense. But anyway, his pants, the back of his pants was wet. Okay, this is hella weird because what the fuck are you doing inviting someone intoxicated into your home, then telling them to come into your bedroom? Now, you may have had to tell them to come to the bedroom because Mama Lemon was coming home soon from working on her night shift. And she couldn't catch shit. Well, Lemon didn't want Michael Jackson to be sleeping on the couch. That's me being nice and giving him the benefit of the doubt. But how the hell all that touching come into play, and I don't know. Then this is the weird part. He said the boy was screaming was cursing at the TV, and the TV was on mute, and he was watching the news. Then he said that the boy was strangling Creed or something. I'm like, what in the hell? And you still didn't kick his ass out yet? So he's strangling Creed, and you didn't kick his ass out? But yet his booty is wet, and then somebody done peed in a bottle and asked him to drink it. What high school elementary games are y'all playing? Then they said that Lemon was sitting on the porch in some sandals and ran over there to get Michael Jackson. See, that's why I say that boy, Lemon is using these boys for entertainment now. He may have been using them for something, but he used them for entertainment. And now I feel like stuff is about to get real for them because I'm gonna just tell you. And then to get this, they run away today because the police are in the complex chasing. I don't know if they were chasing them or they thought. See, this is. I was thinking about this situation. This situation is real effed up. And Lemon, you kind of looking like R. Kelly a little bit, okay? And Diddy wrapped in one because you take. It seemed like you taking advantage of these young boys. One, because you're in a position of power. You have, I guess, monetary proceeds. You have popularity in the hood. They know they can come to you whenever need something real quick. I guess, like, I don't know, some yakis or khakis, whatever they call them. and something to drink, right? Mike's Hard Lemonade, I guess, as you were saying. But then you also know that you could try what you want to try with them, and they will be hesitant to go to the police, right? See, that's the. I was thinking about why the fuck are they? Why he's so concerned about if they running because the police were around, and he said, "Oh, they took off when the police were going through their complex or whatever." So that tells you right then and there that they got some shady stuff going on from a legal perspective. So then again, that puts Lemon in a position of power. Why? Because he knows that he can trust. And I can't say I don't know, but he may be more compelled to try some things um, because he know they are fearful of law enforcement, right? So Lemon feel like, oh, I ain't got really nothing to worry about, so I can put him in my bed and touch his booty or whatever, or we can play doctor, and he won't tell nobody because they looking for him anyway. Because Avatar Nation, no, I always say, where the hoes at? Where the hoes at? Where the hoes at? Women, excuse me, I don't mean that in the derogatory term, but where the hoes at? Ain't nobody said limit where the hoes at. Nothing. Ain't nobody said nothing. Where the hoes at? Ain't nobody said. Lemon, why you ain't got no hoes over there? Lemon, why the hoes at? Why? Nothing. Got Michael Jackson and Tito over there about to hit him up beside the head with a teleport bottle, disrobing them and all that. Got the shirts off. Now the boy said he got liquid on his booty and he don't know where it came from. Don't Southern nobleman, you better stop. Let me see your comments real quick, cause and what I before I read your comment, this is what I fear. Okay, this is what I fear is that okay, narcotics is at play here. Lemon drinks. Okay, we know that one of them, Cheeto, Jermaine, Randy, one of them, Michael, like to be on that stuff too. So it might get to a situation where it get heated, where they all out of their damn mind, and one goes too far, and they sit up there and starts beating each other up, and then one don't like somebody slaps somebody too hard, or somebody touch somebody too much, and then it is what it is. Because when you taking narcotics, you're not in your right frame of mind. Like humans start looking like Godzilla, and people who trying to help you actually looking like they trying to kill you, and your dog start looking like a damn zebra. So and there might be a situation where living totally sober, and Eli or Jermaine or whatever that boy name is high and strung out, and living may turn around and look like a damn alien that's trying to teleport his ass to Mars, and Eli or Jermaine sit up and said, "Oh, you're not gonna take me today," and sit up wind up and hurt Lemon very bad. I don't know why he ain't got nobody his age. Um, to be honest, I can tell you why. Just the same way Jay Wilson ain't dating nobody his age because they don't call him out on his bullshit. But in this situation, it's about control. It's about intellectual maybe superiority, knowing that they have not matured at the point in time in which they are so therefore they could, control them and manipulate them. And right now, Lemon, I feel, is controlling the situation with the tools of allure that they allure them. Social media, cash out, uh, uh, what's the other thing called? Liquor, alcohol, you know, stuff like that. Other little trinkets and things. But one day, and then the one then it said a white boy pulled a gun on him or something. Child, the white boy pulled the gun on them. Did y'all hear that today? I'm like, nigga, where you living and you still giggling? Now we know lemon lie, so you always got to keep that in the back of our heads. But he gonna say that the white boy pulled a gun. I was like, all right, let me read y'all comments real quick, cause I know y'all got stuff to say. Y'all so messy. All right, let me see. I see? Okay. Southern Nova says sounds sketchy. Bush Baby says something's going on. Um, Lady Tia says, Sir King, stop it. Who using P? Nah, they ain't using no P. They drunk the P. So allegedly, the boy, somebody pissed in the boy bottle or something, or what was the plastic bottle, and he went and took a sip of something, and he got shot by what it tastes like. And I was like, why would you would normally see? That's how you tell if you're dealing with some unclean people, because I was thinking like, damn, urine has a scent, right? So even before you lifted it to your nose, you should have been able to smell it unless you got dirty hands. So if you got to run around with dirty hands and your hands smell like somewhat like the scent of piss, then it would have really knocked your nostrils off. And I think that's why he got tripped up and drunk a sip of urine. I think so. That's what I say. ATL Gail says Bush Baby is exactly right. And said Lemon told him to lay on the bed after he laid on the floor and got something on his butt, or maybe it was nut. He said he was there because people wouldn't let him in the house, right? Because he was on that stuff, and they said, "No, we're not letting you on. You need to come down off that high before we let you in here." And therefore, Lemon took him in. Anyway, Lady Tia says, "Lay in bed and but what the hell? I must be sleepy." Girl. Lady Tia says, "Bed and booty go together, though." Really, really. So bed and booty go together in Lemon's bed, but the booty in the bed is not Lemon's, but somebody else. Okay, if you say so. Lady T says, I was never flexed about a woman. Sure. Yeah, where the hoes at? Where the hoes reside? Okay. Maybe he's celibate. Full of shit. Yeah, you're right. All right. Bushman says, Sir King, I asked where the ladies at. He ignored me. Oh, you did? Ooh, now y'all gonna get. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be like, "Well, Sir King, didn't he like Terry P? Didn't he like Just Krista?" I'm gonna tell you my theory on that. Okay, let me see what else your comments say. All right, Lady T says, "Hell, hoes are going for a good chicken and fried." All right. ATL Gill said he did say that they had something for Lemon. Lemon might want to stop touching on those boys. He said that we got something for you. Now, ATL Gale, when he said that, I started thinking of this old movie called Children of the Corn, and where all them kids came together in a damn neighborhood. And let's be honest, they they know limits weaknesses. They know limit weaknesses. You know what I mean? They may lure his. I told her, I said, I put it on my queue. You better start with these young kids because these kids are deceptive. They innovative, and they don't really have no conscience like they used to back in the day. So if they all sit up there and they know that the police don't care about them, shit, they might take justice in their own hand. You better stop. Yes, you do type fast, Lady Tia. He was talking to a lady today with early dementia. Mm-hmm. Oh, pay attention. 18 girl says, Bush, baby, yes, he was. He thought he was going to intimidate that boy to not tell. Oh, yeah. So he started stepping on the boy's toes. The boy said, why are you stepping on my feet? It didn't let him say, I'm not stepping on your feet. The boy says, yes, you are stepping on my feet. So a lot of people perceive that as him, like, trying to intimidate the boy as not what not to say. Because you know, Lemon knows if you go mute, then everybody gonna be like, "Why you muting for?" So he thought that he could manipulate what the boy was saying by stepping on his toes. And then the boy said, "You're not gonna sit up here and have me believe that I was not, that you weren't stepping on my on my feet." I was like, "Oh, child." Woo! Lady Tia says, "Late cheap cooking wine. I will use what he drink in a crab." Ooh! Lady T says, when a man take a woman home, she looks like a Joanna man because when you drink, you see false beauty. DVD, what's up, DVD? Says, from Michael Jackson to you call him Jermaine Jackson. Yeah, they try to explain why they called him Michael Jackson, but I didn't get a clear explanation as to that. I heard them say, oh, because he looked like that, but you never know. Um, Let me see. Okay, Lady T says, I'm triggered. The neighbor name is Michael Jackson. I don't even know if that boy lived there. That boy girlfriend lived there. So Lemon thought that he lived there, but it's really the boyfriend of the girl or the woman that lived at one of the places. What's up, Blue? How you doing? Detail says no. A gang bang. Oops, what a bang bang. What? No, a bang bang. Yes, a bang bang was mentioned. Details. Yes, it was mentioned today. Lemon said it. That the white boy. Now I don't think it's the white boy dealing with Michael Jackson or Eli, but it's another boy because they were trying to figure out somebody involved in the mix. And they said, "Oh, you know that white boy that put that gun on me last week or something like that." So a Bang Bang was mentioned. Um, I'm definitely not going to try to lie on that because that's a serious allegation. I think Rico got more street sense than Lemon. Let's be honest. I mean, listen, Rico used a motherfucking cat. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't go to no damn other humans. Nah, I can't say that because he was over in the man house and the house will fall down. I don't know. I ain't trying to get this into a competition. All y'all live stop and STFU says, I don't give AF because O said all this 3 years ago. Who the hell is O? Who is O? So, as you get older, that ammonia produced in the urine burn your nose. But we don't know. We don't know who urine that was, Lady Tia. I'm not letting addicts in my. I know, but I guess that's the only kind of friends that he could attract. Because he knew he had something on his lip. At first, they thought it was a cold sore. And you know what? Maybe that's what attracted Lemon to him, too. Because he's like, ooh, if he got a cold sore on his lip, maybe he'll try some things. But instead, it was a meth situation. So, the things what happened when you go looking. Whew, you said this was funny. It is kind of weird. It is just weird. It's like they say Lemon 32, 33, 34 or something. I'm like, never where the hoes at? Yes, children of the corn. Yes, children of the corn. They gonna sit up there and tie Lemon up. He gonna be in a barn somewhere in Southern California. Yes, children of the corn. They gonna find Lemon naked, tied up with a yes, yeah. Keep playing, and then ooh, I ain't gonna say that. Let me shut up. Them boys are trade to Lemon. What you mean by trade? I just don't think this is going to end well. Because if he's using money to lure them in, what happens when the money stops? Right? Who is to say that your next door neighbor don't know Eli or Michael Jackson and invites them over for a tell all interview? It is not going to work out well. No, don't stop typing. Keep typing. Oh my god. What's up, my dime Scorpio? Lemon probably bragged about his YouTube money. They go, that's that, my dime. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then what's gonna be crazy is he gonna be going after the wrong people. He gonna think Tito, Jermaine, and Janet something robbed him, and it may have been Mama Lemon. Shit, you don't even know. Child, it be the ones that you least suspect, boy. Woo! He said he 35. I don't know. Okay, but Lemon, where the hoes at? Mm, mm, I don't know. So that's my 2 cents. Basically, what I want to say. It was something else I wanted to add, but I think we touched on that. I just think the whole thing is kind of scary. The whole thing is kind of scary just because with younger people, they're unpredictable, right? And they in a more of a sense of desperation. The older people meaning that they want things, and sometimes they want to get them quickly. And see, Living don't understand what those two other boys are up to. It seems like he see them around in the complex, and when he grab them, he can. But he don't know what else they doing. And I always learn like you gotta be careful of people and what they got going on in their life because you could be caught up in a situation where you're guilty by association. So they see Eli or Michael Jackson riding around in your car, they may think that y'all about that life, that same life. They come hitting you up. And then Eli may get in trouble by getting to jail. He may owe somebody 2K and said, ooh, if somebody said you better give me this 2K by midnight or I'ma handle you and your family. So now Eli in a mode of desperation. And he like, oh, I know I can get that. I know I can get it. And then he either get it or he tells somebody about you who got it. So living, you know these streets don't play. I don't know. As you may tell it, you might be living in a country club and you may just be just stupid. I don't know. But women playing with the wrong people, especially people with drugs and stuff like that, and hallucinating. You even talking about you had to revive the boy because he was foaming on himself. Women, I don't like the fact that you sitting up here dealing with these people. I can't even call them dealing with these young adults in their most vulnerable moments. And I feel if you can't remember the things that happened to you, are you hoping that they can't remember what happens to them and you when they under the sense of druggery and narcotics? I'm just saying what people are thinking, but ain't saying. Thank you, Lady Tia. Have you ever heard Lemon talk in those different accents in this new to you? And if not, did he really go to school for acting? Okay, so he did switch up accents when he was over here, but it's not as bad as it is now. Like stealing Rick Reed's laugh and all that other crazy shit. No. Now I told you he did want to be a reality TV persona. What's up, Nessa? How you doing? Good to see you. He did want to be and then I think he did say he did acting in high school. So if you take all that together, the boy did have intent for maybe wanting to be Could I say a star? No, but being involved in Hollywood to some degree. But what he's done is he's morphed that into his real life and has learned how to manipulate uh, things. Now, that I'm glad you asked that question. Now we keep saying where the hoes at, where the hoes at, and yeah, I mean, well, Sir King, he did mess with Terry. He messed with what's her name, Just Crystal. I feel that he has a target audience of women that he knows that are certain demographic because there are accusations that he was a rip boy or a person who maybe gave virtual services online, right? Allegedly. So you never know. Some of his clientele may have been women who paid him to dress up and do certain poses and things and stuff like that. Right? So I feel why he's able to get along so well with these middle-aged, older-aged women is because that once was his clientele, and they would find him more easier to deal with than someone maybe of his own age, right? Because shit, a woman his age probably looking good too, and she can say, "I'm not putting up with this shit. I'm moving on." But someone who's older, man, ooh, I got a youngin and put up with the bullshit and the shenanigans, but also offer monetary proceeds for his time, I guess. Mhm. So that's what I say. Well, in essence, like I said, I don't care what he is. I just hope he ain't drugging people to make the back of their pants wet. That's all I hope. I just hope that ain't. I just hope that ain't the case. I should say because when he was riding that donkey with Shaquille, I'm like, something just ain't right.
Something just ain't right. It just ain't right.
He was giddy up, Shaquille. And Shaquille, I ain't coming at you. But that was a situation where, you know, he saw that, his physical attribute, they have outweighed yours. And he hopped on that back as fast as he could. So, giddy up. But, should have went, Shaquille, what you should have did, you should have gone and got some pliers for maintenance. And like that scene from Friday, that Christmas scene, and just rolls his nuts until he screams. Anyway, if you saw that movie, you know what I'm talking about with Cat Williams and that big dude, Terry Crews. Um, Lady Tia says, is that why he has a bow tie tattoo? Maybe he's trying to show a sign of elegance to his clientele that he's 24/7 elegant or LA ignorant. I don't know. This is going to get worse. You know what, Creole Butterfly? Unless somebody moves, I think it is. I really do. Lemon has been sober enough to be an escort. Well, based on the Diddy trial, do you ever need to be sober to be an escort? Shit, they getting high on kind of things: ketamine, metamine, methamphetamine, cocaine, all that, and they get paid 2,000, 4,000 to be freaky. So I don't think that is a prerequisite. Um, but my greatest worry, and thank you once again for that gesture to the platform, ATL. My greatest concern is that you'll have a situation where somebody looking like somebody under a narcotic and they look like a damn grizzly bear, and they're gonna try to, save themselves from getting eaten by the grizzly bear, and that grizzly bear might be lemon, and shit goes to hell, accidentally because they're under the influence of psychotics or whatever you call them. I'm not well versed in drugs because I don't do them. I just say no. But obviously they say yes over there. So I don't know. I just it ain't a good mix. And then on top of that, you got these boys running around here talking about you touching me and you touching everybody in the damn neighborhood. And see, that's when I fear because this is bigger than limit, right? Yeah, this is bigger than limit because if you got that boy saying that was a very profound statement that you stop touching me like that. Woo, child, woo, child, stop touching me like that because usually I'm not. Child, if somebody touches your shoulder, your head, stop touching me. Stop touching me. But when you say stop touching me like that, woo, child, and you be touching everybody like that, woo, child, and he say, oh, everybody touching every, woo, you know what this sound like to me? Vigilante justice. Neighborhood gonna link up and give. And then I heard, you see, I can't really say this, but I heard somebody say told them, say, stay away from that man over there, stay away from that man over there. And they were talking about stay away from Lemon. Ooh. So they said, I'm just saying, my word for it is vigilante justice. When they see you living, smoking outside your apartment or walking down the street and they roll up on your ass, and then the neighborhood do vigilante justice. Because one of the boys done ran and told his mama, or he not gonna blame you that you the reason for his drug use. Once he's got to confront his family about why he's sitting up there taking stuff out of their home, and they blame you, and then Uncle Rufus is like, "Oh hell no, where he at?" And then they come looking for your ass, and then the whole neighborhood comes to get you. So whatever you got going on, I don't know, Limit, if you weren't able to live a childhood, or maybe you trying to stretch out these years because they would have been most important years, but nigga, you need a man to fuck up and stop playing with young adults and do something. Go get you a PS5 or some shit. Buy you a PS5 and play some video games or something. Cause this not gonna end well. I hate to say it, and this don't seem like no act in real life either. I'm gonna just put this out here. I don't know where Lemon went when he was gone. I don't know. And he threw up his brother again today. And Shaquille checked him on his brother. Like, why you just throwing your brother up in some bullshit? And I honestly tell you, if somebody throws their deceased relative in some bull crap that don't matter and stuff that don't matter, that gives me to highly question the validity of that statement. You're not keeping his legacy or nothing like that alive. Like that's like you shitting on his legacy for bullshit. So going back to what I was saying about when Lemon disappeared, I don't know why he disappeared. But I always feel like now that we looking back on the situation, I either think he did something to somebody and he can't live with it, and that's why he drinks so much, or he had to serve some time or something. Now I don't know. 'Cause I was just looking at this stuff going on now, and something ain't right. Something ain't right. Or maybe I don't know. But no, you wouldn't go into an intervention and come out acting like this. I hope not. All right, what's up, Bristol babe? How you doing? Let me read these comments real quick. That's what I got to say. Okay, thank you, Lady Tia. She said, last question before I lay it down. Woo. Something that Lemon's not doing. Did you and Lemon ever discuss anything when he said he would start his own channel? And so, what did y'all discuss? Lady Tia, let me tell you, we pushed this man out to start his own channel years before he started his own channel. When I was making Lemon merch for him, I said, because people were like, oh, we want Lemon. At the time, I couldn't get in my feelings. I said, okay, well, Lemon now has developed his own core fan base, so maybe this is the time for him to strike out. When I started creating lemon merchandise, okay, the plan was I was hoping that he would then branch off and seize that moment because this is all about opportunity. Well, this is all about timing and opportunity, and both have to be correct and mesh and sync up or link up. And he didn't do it. He's like, I don't want to do it. I don't know if I can do it. Da, 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 da. But as far as your question as to what he would discuss, I mean, what he would talk about, I mean, we didn't really get into that. We was just trying to. Usually, things would take his own course, you know. So it wasn't about what he would do. It would be more of, I guess, a space where he wouldn't be so muzzled. He could say what he wanted to say, but that was years before, you know, he launched his own thing or went on his own way. So, but thank you for your support, Lady Tia. All right, let me say, okay, good night. I'm tipsy and off tomorrow. Thanks for the late night and 10. Oh, you welcome anytime. Good MS with Jules. Shh, don't tell him that. Bush Baby says the first 48 went. I don't know. I hope we don't get that. But you know, with anything in life, you get warnings, right? It's whether or not you need them. It's either. So, my announcement said, I remember he had a shirtless twink in his bedroom. So that shirtless twink is Eli. That's Eli. For what I can remember. Bush Baby says, yeah, MJ did say everybody in the hood says he's a weirdo. Yeah, they did. They did. And I don't think that's no play. I don't think that's nothing. I just think like, see, y'all, I'm sure y'all understand, but young people play in your face, right? And they seize opportunities to put you on blast. They do, whether it be the 5-year-old or the 15-year-old. They'll sit up there and act like they're gonna say one thing, and then when it comes, they're gonna be like, "Nah, this is this," or they'll just put you on blast. And I felt that's what Eli or whatever thing Michael Jackson did. Rich Debate says, "So King always support Limit and start his channel. Did we ever think this content would land where it is? No, we don't know this individual back to resting and listening. That's true. 'Cause I told him today, I was like, damn, I did not see all this. I did not see this at all. So it's everything that y'all see is a shock to me. I didn't see all this. I didn't know about no little boys. I didn't know about this drinking stuff. I didn't know this like this disgraceful cursing and you know, just complete disregard for people's feelings. The lack of foundational principles and loyalty. Um, I didn't see all that. But like I say, like when they say you don't really know somebody, you don't really know nobody. You hope you know somebody, but people change over time. Life changes people too. I don't know what happened to him when he was yeah. He said his brother died. I don't know. I don't. I'll be honest. I'll say that on Front Street. I don't know the evidence that 100% accurate. I think there's more to that story. I think there's more to that story. And I wish one thing I would have wished Pazar would have asked, and I know why she didn't ask when his mama hit her leg or hit his leg or her leg, whatever, is that I wish she would have said something referencing the brother. I honestly feel that because I feel that is something that he is using that is giving him a pass to that day. And if that was taken away from him, then what would happen then? Then he would really be called to the carpet. Because anytime he go against any kind of adversity, he runs straight to that brother thing. And I'm like sitting here like, I've been on this earth too long to know about, how people act in times of past and the reverence that you have for them. And like I said, I wish that's the one thing I wish that Pazar would have asked when she had that conversation with his mama was like, just said something like, condolences for your son or some shit like that. To just see how the mama would have reacted if it was true or not. Because I feel honestly, and if it is true, then you don't show no damn respect to your brother. Or y'all didn't have no tight relationship. Because the way you trying to sit up here and cool him in the bullshit, that's not right, man. That's not cool. You not even letting that dude rest. That's messed up. That's how I feel. All right. Let me see what y'all saying. Lady T says, "Thank you for responding genuinely." Okay, I'll go on a bit. All right, girl, get you some rest. But you deserve it. You deserve it. Thank you again for your support of the platform. Madame Scorpio says, "Lemon act like you held him hostage." Oh yeah, he wants to be on. He wants to be on your phone. You know, somebody, a couple people have told me that, and I mentioned this in one of my past podcasts. They said Lemon has scoped me out, and as the way I see it, I believe that. Now that I can see things in full view, he said, "Let me scope you out," and I believe that because that's how other sectors work. And I feel, and now that I see, yeah, he just, I don't know what took him so long to launch himself off because the people from which he has brought over here, they're quick to invade and then propel. So I don't know if it was something about a lack of confidence, but maybe life was good being on the passenger side of your best friend's ride. So I don't, maybe he was just like, no, I could just do this and chill, you know. So, mm, but I'm just as in awe as y'all. But I never held him hostage. We always encouraged him to do his own and to capitalize while things were hot. Because I told him, I said, I don't know how long I'm gonna do this. I don't know how. I said, Linda, one day I may decide to pack this thing up and just go on. And what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You're gonna be forced to start your own. So it's best to do that while it's hot, you know. So that's why I kind of pushed him out there, but he didn't want to do it at that time. So all right, I'm gonna try my link real quick in case there's anything y'all want to ask or anything y'all want to say. But that's pretty much my commentary about that. I don't know if anything else has popped off. I just hope really, he understands what he's doing in the real world. Because now you got stuff that you're involving people in the real world. And the real world don't go away. You click exit and YouTube can stop until you come back on. But when you're doing stuff involving people in the real world, flaunting stuff, that's stuff that you can't instantly get rid of. So I hope he knows what he's doing. I wish he wouldn't tell people how much money he getting, how much. I mean, and this is another thing. Why the hell? No, let me shut up. He can waste his money as much as he want. Go ahead. There's no way for me to tell people how to spend their money. But yeah. So that's how I feel, and you know, I don't know. I just hope that boy don't sit up there and tear up his liver, his heart, his esophagus, his kidney, because you only get one body. And while he's sitting there trying to drown his sorrows and stuff, he tearing up his body. So even when the day he decide to get his act right, it's gonna be really too late because now he's gonna deal with the ramifications and repercussions of abusing his body. And this is the thing I hope, y'all, and I gotta put it to fruition because if I don't say it, then how's it ever gonna like get out there? Like I hope Lemon don't do nothing to these boys where Lemon be up there 40, 45 years old and them boys can't get over what he did to them and they wind up coming back and trying to get Lemon for what they did. Because oftentimes it's not at the time in which the abuse occurs, it's at the time years past where that person can't get over that mental turmoil and torment. And if you think about it, this is gonna get deep, y'all. This is gonna get real deep. Lemon may have been a victim of abuse himself. I hate to say it, it may not have been at the hands of a male. It may have been at the hands of a woman. And if y'all know, y'all know, I'm just saying, you know. So I don't know, Lemon dealing with some trauma. If he is, may God bless his soul. But to affect other people and to put trauma onto them, that's not right. Go get you some therapy. Go get you some help. Reach out to Dr. Wilson if you need help or something. Not, I don't know if you want to do that, but reach out to somebody if you need help. You got somebody coming to the stage. What's up, Urban? How you doing? Hello, Urban. We can't hear you. I don't know if you're on mute or not. Oh, hold on. Okay, no problem. All right, so yeah, so that's what I want to say, but I'm just putting it out there because gotta say it. Sometimes what you say may be galvanized a thought or two to get somebody gotta get some help. So, but that's what I want to say. Thank you, Bush Baby. Said you're live. What's up, Mr. Baby Green? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I got it, dude. I think that's him. Because he said something. He wrote something in the back, so I think that's him. I think she said coffee is calling her. I go to bed. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed your coffee. All right, y'all. That's all I got to share. Really, I'm not gonna. Well, I ain't gonna bash women, but just be careful, man, because kids be lying. Kids be lying. I don't. Kids be lying. And this thing, like I said, it may be some young adults, which are even worse than younger kids. But you know, mm, so, hold on. Okay. Well, Urban, y'all, you will have to catch me on the other one. I'm gonna get up out of here. I got an early morning, y'all. Woo! Child, I got an early morning. So I don't know, but and I gotta get to bed. To be honest, I don't do child. But anyway, thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Lady Tia, for your generosity. Thank you for those who thumbs up the video. I appreciate y'all. Be the change I want to see in the world. Please stay abreast of what's going on because I'm not liking what's going on. And y'all, please, we gotta make it to October, November, y'all, because they said a lot's gonna happen in the summer. And I just don't know. So we gotta see. We gotta see. Hold on, Urban coming back. What's up, Urban?
So, King, what's going on, big dog?
How you doing? I got a couple of minutes. What's going on?
I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
I'm blessed, man. I was trying to fix my avatar situation. I saw that, but
No
um,
worries.
yeah, I caught the tail end of that conversation. But if you have any time to talk, we can can click up on another occasion. I did kind of want to give my spin on some of the things that I perceived uh, about that situation.
Well,
And
give them now because you never know. In 24 hours, it might be a whole new spin. So,
okay, well, greetings to the chat, everyone out there. Um, one of the first things I thought, Sir King, was in my work with veterans that are dealing with homelessness and addiction and things like that. I learned that nonprofits will get grants, and then they'll purchase homes in certain types of communities. And so what will end up happening is you'll have the same type of people living in a certain apartment building. So you may be suffering from let's just use battered women, for example. You may live in an apartment building where all the women are battered women, right? An apartment complex. And the same thing applies to people that are dealing with health issues, like Rico's situation. Uh, and from the people that are in your co-host atmosphere, they all seem to be the same type of individuals.
Oh,
So it's kind of like connecting the dots there. Um, the backgrounds are the same. And so my first thought was, okay, this is an apartment complex. This is a neighborhood where some nonprofits have gotten some grants and they're providing housing for specific type of people dealing with specific type of issues. And so that was the first thing I thought. That there's that what that leads to is that there's things going on much deeper than what the public is aware of, but it's starting to unravel, and it's unraveling live. And one of the aspects of that is, I said this before on your platform, fame is a powerful drug. And with social media fame, it's a whole different beast. You see people on live filming while the police are shooting at them or while they're harming a significant other or taking their own life.
right.
We're dealing with a whole different beast here. So a combination of addiction issues, and I think there's more issues going on other than alcohol. This is just my own perception and based on clips that I've seen, little things that I've heard, there's a lot of other issues going on that I think are being revealed layer by layer in the public. And I heard you mention, you know, me saying that I think you were profiled, uh, as a platform to jump on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, one thing about living in those type of environments where you have people that are struggling with substance abuse and people that come from a life of maybe selling their bodies and that type of
Right.
culture is they become expert manipulators. I've
Mm-hmm.
mentioned this before, but they are prolific manipulators. Just standing in front of 7-Eleven, they can make several $100s a day. That's no easy task, actually. They have to learn, and then no telling what their habits are, but that's in addition to breaking and entering people's homes, going to people's cars, pickpocketing people, and there's a whole culture going on there, and that appears to be the circumference that he's operating in. Right? There's a lot going on there. Like I heard the whole clip about people taking alcohol and bringing it to them that they, you know, proliferated from businesses and stuff in the area. I see some arrested development going, some severe arrested development happening there. And a lot of times in people that are abusive to others and people that are attracted to people that are younger than them, um, that arrested development is there. Um, so I see all these things happening. I saw the whole parts that involve law enforcement. Uh, and I think when it comes to, these types of sectors, the B sector actually is on the lower side, on the lower end. By that, I mean, we haven't seen like probably the most prolific thing we've seen ever happen was Rob Rack, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I see this happening all over again in this situation, where it's going to happen live and direct. Very similar situation. Watching this scenario, I keep thinking of Rico. And there's other, what I find interesting is there's so many other people that have dealt with substance abuse issues in the B sector. And I don't see anyone saying anything, raising their hands, saying, hey, because they see the red flags. I see them because of me, dealing with veterans and learning this over the years. This was a completely new thing to me, dealing with people dealing with substance abuse. And there's a lot I had to learn. But I see
But
I see 1,000,001 red flags. I don't see anyone responding to it. But go ahead.
because of the X factor or the variable factor of him saying that, oh, the play, he's thespian, all that. So people are like, oh, maybe it's a play, and they're just like, okay, they don't, well, maybe it's a fun act, you know.
I didn't catch that. Sorry, can you say that again?
So maybe it's part of like the play. So he says he's acting and all this stuff. So people like just say, oh, maybe
Oh,
he's acting and it's part of the
oh,
play, and so they don't take
yeah.
it as seriously as someone who doesn't have that history. You know.
I guess that's one way to soften the blow, but I think that it's just become, a train wreck is entertainment. And people get fixated on a train wreck. That's why reality TV is so successful. It's taken over network television,
Yeah, and
right?
then you gotta also think about those people who are bankrolling it too, right?
People that are what?
Bankrolling it. So the more
Hmm.
crazier, ooh, I'll get him to do this. Get
Right. That's
him
where
to
your
do this.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's where your cash apps go up, right?
right.
When you look at the streamers, like you guys have got a lot of streamers joining your community now, what they call the IRL streamers. IRL stands for in real life. So
Mhm.
these IRL streamers get money on the spot for doing crazy things in public.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what, that's that whole addiction to fame, right? Social media fame. And so
Mhm.
to your detriment, just like we've seen on Facebook and Instagram, when people are holding the phone to their face with 25 police cars chasing them down the highway.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? To their
Yeah.
detriment. They're, addicted to it's that addictive personality. And so I see the addictive personality, number one, and I see the arrested development. By arrested development means you're a grown man, but emotionally you're a child.
Right. Mhm.
And so you're attracted to children. You're attracted to the younger age. All your friends are younger. That's the red flag. All your friends are much younger than you. And that leads to, and then when you involve substance abuse and drinking, and you start doing things, your inhibitions are lowered. So you start doing things that maybe you wouldn't particularly do. Or maybe you get to a
Mhm.
point where you just don't care what you do because you're so oblivious and so obliviated, you really don't care what you do. And that's how I take a look at our jail cell.
Hmm.
Um, but in these types of scenarios, what I've learned, I've gone in these things with this big, Superman cape, and I'm going to save all these veterans, and I'm going to do all this stuff. And I was disappointed at the success versus the failure, and it's painful to watch, and it hurts to see people destroy their lives right before your very eyes. But they've got to dig deep down somewhere inside themselves and pull themselves out. They're the only ones that can save themselves. And unfortunately, most of the time they don't. And so what you're seeing is a live and direct train wreck, and people are clapping and cash apping and enjoying it. And there's energy behind that. From my perspective, there's, you know,
Of
people
course.
carry people carry demons with them, right? There's a they say birds of a feather flock together. That's another way of saying that, the demonic energy tends to gather together,
Mhm.
right? And throws more logs on the fire. And that's what I see happening.
No, I agree, and that's why I come out and I make my videos. So no way, no how, any point in time in the future, if things go left, they can ever say I stood silent and didn't say nothing. So
Right.
that's
Yeah, it's painful to watch, what people are, that they're getting they're feeding, you know, we ever see where they talk about what they call vampiric energy. They're
mhm,
feeding off of the destruction, just like with Rob Brack. People chapped and cleared and participated and called every agency they could think of, and they watched that whole thing explode, and they got a high out of that.
mhm,
And that's you will see this repetitive pattern over and over and over and over and over again. Uh,
mhm.
and that's just the way it works, and that's where the sector has descended to, as you start bringing in other types of individuals, You start pulling in these other types of energies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all throwing a log in the bonfire and a match. They're throwing a log and a match in that bonfire and watching it burn. You know, it's kind of like a person addicted to starting fires, and they sit back and they clap and laugh while the building burns down.
Well, I told you, it's just, it's a lot going on.
Yeah, so it's disappointing to see, but I kind of wanted to add in my own 2 cents in there. Always a pleasure popping in on you, Sir King. Greetings to everybody out there in the chat. I can't see the chat, but always a pleasure popping in on you, Sir King.
Well, thank you. We'll definitely have to continue this conversation hopefully tomorrow or some point this weekend. But yeah, I just wanted to say this because sometimes you have to catch it when it happens because 12 hours it may be something that's a minute point. So
Yeah, a lot of red flags. Definitely going downhill fast, and there's really only one end result.
Yeah, I know.
But I'll check back in on you this weekend, so King. Always a pleasure to pop in on you.
Likewise. Thank you, Urban. Great talking to you.
All right. Ciao.
All right, y'all. That's the one and only Urban Critic. I agree with all the sentiments that he said. Hopefully Lemon gets some help before it is, too late. So, but either way, God is good. God is great. Hopefully he'll find God or some religious force intercedes in his life before, what our premonitions come to fruition. But with that being said, thank you once again for your attentive engagement tonight. We'll see what tomorrow holds. Thank you again to all our wonderful moderators. I appreciate you and my Avatar Nation supporters. Thank you once again, Lady Tia, for your support. I'm going to head on out. Remember to be the change you want to see the world. Stay abreast of the news. Give yourself the best physical health that you can. It's not easy, but it'll be worth it in the end. If you want to, feel free to adjust the downside so you can crowd. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all. Have a good one. And thank you again. And woo, child. Bye, y'all.
Sir King.
Canvas.
Sir King. Sir King. Sir King. Sir King.